His narrow eyes squinted when he smiled, and his nose took up a lot of room on his face. But folks say kids change a bunch before they finish growing, especially in the summertime. In the afternoon, my best buddy, Jesse Wade Thompson, stopped by to say hello to Aunt Dorie Kay. He and I were sitting on the living room floor drinking grapettes and listening to Elvis on the radio when we heard someone drive up. Aunt Dorie Kay leaned forward, causing our tweed couch to squeak. She drew back the calico curtains. "Why, Tiger, look. Are you expecting something from an Alexandria store?" I rushed to the window. A Mitchell's appliance delivery truck screeched to a stop in front of our gate. Jesse Wade and I dashed to open the screen porch door for two men carrying a bulky box. 2 weeks ago, we received a box of 24 baby chicks Granny had ordered. But this box was almost as big as our wood stove. I held the screen door open for the men. "Excuse me, sirs, but do you have the right house?" Brando, our one-eyed cat, leaped from the swing and pranced off the porch. The taller man with a hair lip exchanged smiles with his stocky helper. "I don't know. Whose house is this?" My breathing was hard and fast. "This is the home of Jewel Ramsey and her kin. Jewel Ramsey was my grandma. I hoped the box was for us, but I knew it had to be a mistake." They carefully lowered the heavy box onto the porch. The hair-lip man wiped sweat from his brow with his handkerchief and dug out some folded papers from his back pants pocket. He unfolded a yellow slip, then slid his finger to the bottom of the page. "Well, let's see here. You say Jewel Ramsey and her kin?" I hunched my shoulders. "Yes, sir, that's what I said." He frowned and shook his head. "Nope, I don't see anything that says that." My heart sank. "It's probably for your family, Jesse Wade." Mr. Thompson owned the plant nursery where Daddy worked. They could afford things that came in big boxes. Jesse Wade leaned his curly black head against the doorway. "We're not expecting any deliveries from Mitchell's." Aunt Dorie Kay walked onto the porch while the man continued to study the papers. He frowned, shaking his head. "Nope, this here paper says for the family of Jewel Ramsey and Lonnie Parker." The corners of his mouth turned up into a slow grin. The other man laughed loudly and slapped his knee with his hat. "Fooled you, didn't we?" My heart felt like it flew plumb out of my chest. I raised my chin and stood straight. "Yes, sir, that's my grandma and Daddy. Right this way, sir. Can I get you some iced tea?" The men followed me inside, carrying the box. It took up so much space in our plain little room. Mama darted out of the kitchen with a half-peeled potato in her hand. The spiral peeling bounced as she ran toward the box. "What is it?" she asked. "What's in that box?" "Hold on, Corina," Granny said, walking slowly behind and wiping her hands on her apron. Her black hair was pinned in its usual tight bun, but some fine locks stuck to her full face. Aunt Dorie Kay stood near the window, smiling as she watched us. Daddy, returning from the garden, clopped up the porch steps. He started to walk in, then looked down at his muddy boots, backed out, and pulled them off. He walked in the house with white socks on his feet, rubbing a dirty hand across his red chin. I couldn't tell if his face was red from the sun or because two strangers stood in our house. He studied the box, then shyly peered at the men. As always, he spoke slow and cautious. "What's this box doing in our house?" "It's for us, Daddy. The men said it was for us." The delivery men headed toward the front door. The stocky fella tipped his hat and said, "You folks have a good day." The screen door squeaked open and shut as I examined the puzzled faces in the silent room. I dashed out the door before the men reached their truck. "Oh, wait a minute, sir. Who is this box from?" The tall man opened the truck door. "It's on those papers we left with you." I ran back to the house and grabbed a paper stamped invoice off the box. It said Doreen K. Ramsey. Aunt Dorie Kay bought it. I whipped around. "Oh, thank you, Aunt Dorie Kay." It was just like Christmas. She yanked gently on my long pigtail. "Don't you think you better see what it is you're thanking me for?" Mama's focus didn't stray from the box. "Open it," she demanded. "Open it, Lonnie."